All right, Amir, we really appreciate having you here. You've been crushing it this year. You're an outstanding asset to the company. You're one of our top customer service reps, and to reward that, we feel like a raise is honestly necessary. So we were discussing, and we were looking at 60 cents per hour raise. What do you think about that?
60 fucking cents an hour. Are you joking me? So you're telling me I spent an entire year waking up early, taking the goddamn train, busting my ass at this soul-crushing job day in and out for 60 cents an hour? No. It was at this exact moment when I knew I needed to escape from this. So I present to you, my friend, the art of quitting your job and chasing your dreams. Or as I like to personally call it,
Ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention to something quite extraordinary?
Now, I feel like we've all fantasized about quitting a job at some point in our lives. Just going in there, saying fuck you to your boss and just quitting and never looking back. But many people never actually get to experience that. And I happen to be one of those people who did. Now, I want to say that I'm not telling you to follow what I did because everyone has a different story. I just want to tell you mine to hopefully inspire you. Buying back your time. So as much as I would love to just sit here and tell you this amazing, dramatic, cool story about how I quit that job, started my business, instantly successful, that's not what happened. In fact, this might be a little bit of a different story than you might think. Now, what I'd realized is that if I wanted to become independent and do my own thing, I needed to start to slowly buy back my time. I wouldn't have been able to make any moves if I spent my entire day in that office. But I also didn't have another income at the time to kind of help me bridge this gap, so I got creative. You see, at that office job, I made $16 an hour and pocketed about $2,000 a month after taxes and stuff. And believe it or not, that covered my expenses at the time. So I made it a mission in my mind to make at least $2,000 a month through doing anything other than a 9-to-5 job, so that I can spend that time on working on my dreams and doing the things I want to be doing. And this takes us to the next chapter, and honestly, my personal favorite one: the art of the hustle. Now, people can talk and say a lot of things about me, but one thing they will always admit is that I am a hustler. For the next 2 years, I did everything you can imagine to pay the bills. I started delivering food on Uber Eats. I did creative and social media work for anyone willing to pay me a couple $100. I got in my '08 Honda Civic, drove to different states, going door to door in every single grocery store, selling spices to them. I even got a bartending job. You get the point though. But it was all for what? You see, that sounds like a lot, but the money that I earned through those gigs were not really reliant on a specific set schedule and time. For example, I would work at that restaurant Thursday nights through Saturday nights, which would leave the entire rest of the week during the daytime to work on my own shit. Now, speaking of doing my own shit, remember that I briefly described that one of the hustles that I did was creative and social media stuff. Now, out of all the things I did, that was my favorite thing to do. It was fun, it was creative, and I made a lot of money because I did great work for my clients. So much that I really decided to pursue social media marketing and even started my own agency. When it feels scary to jump in, that is exactly when you jump. Yes, that is a movie quote, and yes, I saw it on an Instagram reel. But it was exactly what I needed to hear at the time. You see, I was at this weird point where I was making enough money from my business to be able to sustain myself and survive, but I wasn't making enough to comfortably do it without getting the income from my restaurant job. It was very risky, or in other words, it felt very scary to jump in. I was in this state for a while and I really hated it because I wanted to only be able to do the things I wanted to do. So when I heard that quote, I decided to take a leap. I quit my restaurant job and decided to pursue my business full time. The power of one more. I swear I'm not making this up, but literally 2 days after I quit everything else I was doing and went full time with my social media marketing agency, 2 of my biggest clients dropped me. That was half of my income gone. And I'm not gonna lie, I started to panic and I even decided to go back to the restaurant job, but they'd already replaced me. So I sat down with myself and thought, okay, my goal is to survive and remain in business for just 1 more month. That's it. That's my only goal. I'm not thinking about 6 months from now. I'm not thinking about a year from now. I'm not thinking about my future goals and aspirations and all the things I want to be doing. My only focus right now at the time was to survive one more month. And if I ended up doing it, I would focus again on just one more month until things got better. You have no idea how powerful the concept of one more is. In fact, I can make an entire video on it. But I've learned over time that when things are not going well for me, my only goal at that time should be to focus on doing one more rep, one more day, one more month, just one more of whatever it is you're doing. And in that case, it was staying in business for just one more month. Khoda miresune. Yeah, I'm sure you're probably like, what the fuck did you just say? And let me explain. In my native language, Farsi, the phrase Khoda miresune simply translates to God will deliver. Now, I don't really care what your religious beliefs are. It's really the concept I want to tell you about. I grew up hearing this phrase in my household. It's gotten me through some of the hardest times in my life. When I was younger, my dad told me that no matter how hard your life will get, no matter how bad you think it is, it might be rock bottom, God will always deliver. Again, if you're not religious, it's fine. It's more of the concept of no matter how hard your situation is, no matter how down bad you are, the universe, whatever you want to call it, will always find a way to deliver your needs. It's gonna happen. What else is gonna happen? You're not gonna be stranded. Eventually, it might take a while, but eventually something will come through for you, as long as you stick around. I ended up staying in business for that month and have been independent as a creative entrepreneur ever since. That's my story so far. And if you're still watching this video until this point, I will leave you with one last clip.
If a bird lands on the branch, does the bird trust the branch or does it trust its wings? And the clue, I've seen many birds land on branches, but what I've never seen is a branch break and the bird fall and die. Trust your wings.